Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss August month current affairs based questions. This will be the last part, that is part 6. In this we are going to discuss 15 questions which will be comprising topics such as polity, economy, science and technology, governance and international organization. We will be covering these 5 topics in these 15 questions. We are going to start from the 51st question. Already we have covered in last videos till 50 questions. So let's take up questions now. In which of the following states inner line permit regime is being implemented? Why I have asked about the inner line permit regime? Because the central government has appointed committee. Appointed committee to define Assamese people term mentioned in Assam Accord. Okay, so now the question is, what is this Assam Accord? It is tripartite accord between Government of India, Assam government and the people involved in Assam movement. So what is this Assam movement? This Assam movement is to send back illegal migrants who settle in India, to identify and send back, means what? To deport these illegal migrants to Bangladesh again. Why this illegal Bangladesh people entered? Why these Bangladesh people entered into Assam? Because of 1971 war, which was between Bangladesh and Pakistan. It led to the large migration from Bangladesh to Assam, because Assam shares border with Bangladesh. Okay, from then onwards the migrations keep on increasing. Because why? Because this illegal Bangladeshi people started settling in Assam. What happens if one community comes? Their relatives will come, therefore distant relatives will come, friends will come, and they start coming like this only. As illegal migrants they started settling. If they settle, what is the issue here? Because Assamese has a peculiar culture and tradition. Because the number of people are keep on increasing, their culture and tradition are getting diluted. Okay, and another point is the land availability also reducing because of the illegal migrants. So that's why the movement has started to identify and deport back these people to the Bangladesh. And this movement was continued for 6 years. After 6 years, Assam Accord was signed. That's why later government has started NRC to identify Assamese and deport people who are not Assamese, deport them back to the illegal migrants, deport them, not just Assamese who are illegal migrants, deport them back to the Bangladesh. It's altogether a different topic. So this is what you should know. So this is the issue with the Assam and illegal migrants. Now what the committee has recommended, committee has defined the term now Assamese people, and it also recommended reservations for Assamese. It also recommended regulation of outsiders. How they will regulate the outsiders means Indians. Indians whoever want to go to Assam, it will be regulated now. How they will recommend regulate with inner line permit. Okay, is it a new concept? No, it is not new concept. Already it has been established in how many states? 4 states. Which are those 4 states? 1. Arunachal Pradesh, 2. Nagaland, 3. Manipur, 4. Mizoram. Okay, what this inner line permit says, whoever want to go these states, whoever want to go to Indian citizens, I'm talking about Indian citizens, if they want to go to these states, they have to apply for the permit. That permit, in this permit it will show that how long you are going to stay in these states and the purpose of visit. Okay, you cannot stay more than the permission given in the permit. It is same like what now e-pass. Now e-pass you would have heard because of the COVID. Now the states are issuing e-pass to the different state citizens who want to enter into their state. This e-pass also the same system where you have to enter the purpose and the timing and how long you need this pass. The same way it works. Okay. This inner line permit was actually started with whom? With the British East Bengal Frontier Act 1873. Actually it is Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act 1873. So this is how you should know. That's it. This is what you should know about this topic. So now let's see the options. Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. What is another state missing? It's Nagaland. So answer is D. Come to the 52nd question. Which of the following organization releases Digital Quality of Life Index? So which organization releases this index? Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is wrong. WIPO wrong. Surfshark is correct. This is the organization which releases Digital Quality of Life Index. But why I have asked this thing? Because the government has taken various initiatives to make internet affordable, to increase the internet quality, to enhance e-infrastructure, electronic security, etc. So what are the schemes that government recently launched? PM Vani, Bharat Net, Digital India Program, BIM app, Pradhan Mantri Gram Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. These are and etc. These are the main schemes which are implemented by the government of India to achieve internet affordability, internet quality, e-infrastructure, electronic security, e-governance. After launching these many schemes also, still government India ranks lowest in the world. India ranks 57th out of 85 countries according to this index. So I have asked this question. Come to the 53rd Third question. Consider the following statements. The Parliament can legislate and execute for Delhi on any matter in state list and concurrent list. Lieutenant Governor shall act according to the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers except in the matter of land, public order and police. There is a legal controversy between Lieutenant Governor and Delhi government. What is this legal controversy? What is the reason for this controversy is Article 239 and Article 239A. These 239A says that central government, union government will have through union government through lieutenant governor can administer Delhi. How? Lieutenant governor is given independent powers to act irrespective of Council of Ministers advice or aid. At the same time, this Article 239AA empowers the elected government of Delhi to legislate on state list and concurrent list. So obviously there is a conflict, right? Here this is giving independent powers to the lieutenant governor. Here it is giving power to the Delhi government to legislate. So obviously these two are getting clashed. That's why this is a controversy here. To resolve this controversy, the Delhi government approached Supreme Court. That case is NCT of Delhi government versus Union of India. In this case, in 2018, Supreme Court gave a judgment. What is that judgment? It says that first is status of Delhi. The judgment says that Parliament can legislate on any matter in the state list and concurrent list, but it can be only executed by the Delhi government headed by Chief Minister, except in matters of land, police and public order. This thing will be taken care of Parliament. Means what? Parliament will legislate and execute in these three things. Okay, but Parliament can only legislate in this state and concurrent list items, but it can be executed only by the Delhi government. It says, the judgment says this. Here I already told Article 239 and Article 239AA raised the controversy and conflicts between the Lieutenant Governor and the Delhi government. Why it has raised, I have explained. In the constitution also there is a provision says that whenever there is a conflict between these two, okay, whenever there is a case of difference of opinion between the LG and his ministers, means what? CM and his ministers, on any matter. Remember this word, on any matter, LG can refer, LG means Lieutenant Governor can refer that matter to the President. Okay. What happens? This is any matter, right? It is not defined. So, Lieutenant Governor started interpreting this in undemocratic way and started referring many matters to the president. So now this issue was resolved by saying, by Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court says that any matter means not every matter. Okay, any matter is not every matter. It can be used only in exceptional cases only. Like this, the Supreme Court gave judgment. Means what? The Lieutenant Governor cannot refer to the President on day-to-day administrative issues. This has been established through the judgment. After this judgment, do you think everything is okay, all is well? Like Amir Khan says in Idiot, right? All is well, all is well. Do you think all is well with the government and with the Delhi government and Lieutenant Governor? No, it is not. That's why it is in news. Because there are many overlapping functions which Supreme Court has not addressed. So again the issue has started propping up. That's why it is in news again. Now let's see the options. The Parliament can legislate and execute for Delhi on any matter in the state list and concurrent list. It's wrong because it can legislate and execute on three things: land, police, public order. So it is wrong. Lieutenant Governor shall act according to the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers except in matter. Yes, this is correct. So answer is B. Remember, this can be useful for prelims, UPSC may ask, and mains also UPSC may ask. Mostly I think it will ask in prelims only because it has already asked in 2018 mains about the Delhi government and Lieutenant Governor issue. So it is asked in mains 2018. So there are chances that in 2021 prelims they may ask about the article 239, 239 AA, 239 AB. So open Lakshmikant and read that Delhi chapter properly. Who will appoint Delhi Chief Minister, Lieutenant Governor or President? It's President. And during whether the presidential rule can be applied to the Delhi government or not, etc. There are many other things you have to read. So answer is B here. Come to the 54th question. Which of the following statements are correct regarding National Recruitment Agency? This is a direct question that because government has established this agency for recruiting non-gazette officers and through conducting common eligibility test. This test will be conducted in 12 Indian languages. And in 1000 centers. they will recruit. This recruitment will happen by three agencies: one SSC, IBPS, and RRB. This is what you should know, and the chairperson of this will be Government of India Secretary, not any minister or not any other Supreme Court judge. It will be Government of India Secretary. So let's see the options. Will conduct recruitment for non-gazette and gazette posts. It's wrong. So one you remove. And it conducts common eligibility test twice a year. We don't know this, so we'll keep it on hold. It conducts common eligibility test in 13 major languages. 13 or 12? It's 12, right? So eliminate this also. So answer is B. So what you have learned now, new thing is this one. I have not explained this in explanation because you should learn to eliminate options in examination. So answer is, you have to learn this. It will conduct CET twice a year. So answer is B. Now 55th question. Consider the following statements regarding Article 143. Why it is in news? Because of Yamuna Satluj Canal project. The government of India has given a permission to construct Yamuna Satluj Canal project. So Haryana, if you think this is Haryana and this is Punjab. Okay. Haryana has completed its canal. Okay. When it is the time for the Punjab to construct its canal, Punjab government in 2004 said that we are not going to construct by any canal because we have very less water. Why we have to share our Satluj water with Haryana? We are not going to share. If we share, our agriculture lands will be affected, millions of farmers will be affected. So we are not going to share. You do whatever you want. So they didn't start their construction to connect this Satluj canal with the Satluj river, and which water flows like this into the Yamuna river. And what Haryana government cannot do anything. So they have approached the Supreme Court. Okay, what happened in 2016? 2016, the Supreme Court has started hearing presidential reference. What is this presidential reference? It is mentioned in the article 143. In 2016, it started hearing presidential reference and said that Punjab Act is unconstitutional. So it has asked in 2020, it has asked the chief ministers of both the states to sit and negotiate and settle the issue. That's why it is in news, this presidential reference. Presidential reference comes under Article 43. When President refers issue to the Supreme Court under Article 43, it has two options. One, it can give advice or it cannot. It can refuse. Here it is mandatory for it to give. So what are the cases will come here? It is on any question of law or fact of public importance. It may give and it may refuse. But what is mandatory? Anything arising or any dispute arising of an pre-constitutional treaty, agreement, covenant, etc. Anything pre-constitutional, it is mandatory that Supreme Court have to give. Okay, chalo. Now Supreme Court has given the advice. Soch lo. Do you think it will be binding on the government or on the president? No. It is not binding on the president. But before that, before giving this advice, you should know that who is now Supreme Court, right? Who will be giving this advice to the president? How many benches should be there? It's 5 bench. Minimum 5 bench means 5 judges. 5 judges bench should meet and discuss, then they have to give the advice to the president. Not less than 5 judge bench can give advice to the president. So these things you should know. This is not mentioned in the polity, so you should definitely remember it. Polity Lakshmikant. So answer is, let's see the options. The Supreme Court may refuse to tender its opinion to the president in case of question of law of public importance. Correct. And one is correct, one is correct, one is correct. You can remove this. The opinion expressed by the Supreme Court is only advisory and not a judicial pronouncement. This is also correct. It's not, it's advisory, right? In the name itself it is there. 143, it is advisory, not a judicial pronouncement. And the reference made by the president or decided by a bench consisting of at least 5 judges. Yes, it is correct. So answer is D. Come to the question number 56. Which of the following countries shares border with Mali? Why I have asked about Mali suddenly? Because there is a military coup. There is one more country which is facing the same thing. That is which country? That is Myanmar is also facing the issue. So you should definitely read not only about the Mali, you have to read about the Myanmar country also. Means how the borders of the Myanmar, rivers flows from India to Myanmar, and the projects in Myanmar, Kaladan, Sitwe, and Trilateral Road project you should learn, and etc. So Mali, answer, how Mali looks? It looks like this. One vertical line, one slant line, and one vertical line. This is how Mali looks. Okay, what is here? It is Algeria. Okay, here Mauritania. Here Niger. Here Burkina Faso. So this is how you should remember the borders of the Mali. One of the famous river passes through the Mali. What is that? Niger. So answer is D. Come to the 57th question. Which of the following organization released the National Strategy for Financial Education? Here you should know what is financial education, what is financial literacy, difference. UPSC will not ask, may or may not ask these question which released. What if it asks, consider the following statement: 1. Financial education definition. 2. Financial literacy definition. Definitely, if you don't know the definition clearly, you will get confused and you may opt some other answer, wrong answer. Coming to this question, which will release this: National Strategy for Financial Education, Niti Aayog, wrong. RBI, correct. It released by the RBI. Now, what is financial literacy? Financial literacy is combination of financial awareness, financial knowledge, financial skills, financial attitude, financial behavior. Okay, all these things are necessary to make what? The awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, behavior, all these things are needed for what? Needed to take financial decisions. This is known as financial literacy. Very simple, right? Financial awareness, financial knowledge, financial skills, financial attitude, financial behavior. All these things are needed for what? To take financial decisions. This is known as financial literacy. Now the question is, what is then financial education? It is the understanding. Financial education means what? Education means not only just decision making, right? Education involves a broader concept. It is understanding about the financial products, about the financial concepts, about the financial risks. Okay, this is very important. These are the three things deals with the financial education. What are the three things? Financial products. You should be able to understand financial product, about the financial concept, about the financial risk involved. Okay, you are saying understanding of these things, but how you understand that is how this, that is through this education you will get the information, right? Information, instruction, and advice, and by developing education will develop your skills, and it will give you a lot of confidence. Education, through all these things you will be able to, whatever you learn from this education process, you will be able to understand the financial education's objects, that is financial project, financial concept, and financial risk. This will come under financial education. So this is about the difference between financial education and financial literacy. For this answer is RBI. And if you want to know about one thing, the Financial Stability and Development Council, this is one organization. It is chaired by Ministry of Finance. You should know about this organization also. So let's take up 58th question. Which of the following is correct regarding River Tista? Why I have asked this river? Suddenly River Tista. Because Bangladesh, China, you can say that China is willing to give $1 billion loan to Bangladesh for comprehensive management and restoration project on the Tista River. So if China is giving loan to Bangladesh, why it is news for India? It is very big news for India because Tista River is a major issue between India and Bangladesh. What is this major issue? Bangladesh has sought a fair and equitable distribution of Tista rivers waters from India on the lines. On which lines? This fair and distribution of, fair and equal distribution of water on which lines? On which lines means Ganga Water Treaty 1996. But India and Bangladesh has failed to conclude on this fair and equitable water sharing of Tista because of adamant opposition from the West Bengal government, which says that if we share more water to Bangladesh, then the West Bengal farmers will be impacted, will be affected. So the West Bengal government is opposing. So it became a big issue between India and Bangladesh. Now in this project, in this river, which India has issue with Bangladesh, China is entering now. So definitely it isn't it, you only think isn't it big issue or not? Definitely it is a big issue. It will be a big issue. So that's why I have asked about the river Tista. Because till now UPSC has not asked about Tista directly in prelims, so it may start by asking basic things. Basic things was its origin, where it is origined, and through is it a tributary of any other river, or its mouth, or it passes through which of the it passes through which countries. It may ask like this very basic things. So I have covered the basic things. It is originated where? In Tibet. It's wrong. It originated in Sikkim. It's originate in Sikkim. What is that place name? Chunthong. Because it originates in Sikkim, Tista originates from here. Okay, so it passes through Bangladesh directly. So it doesn't have any link with the China. So you can eliminate Tibet. Here Tibet, you can eliminate. And Brahmaputra will come and join here. So it is a tributary of Brahmaputra. So answer is only 2. Sorry, this should be only 2. Answer is B. 59th question. Which of the following statements regarding the Election Commission of India is correct? Why I have asked this Election Commission of India question? Because recently government has appointed Election Commissioner, member of Election Commission of India. That is Election Commissioner. One of the Election Commissioner has been appointed by the government of India. So that's why I have asked this question now. What is these functions of Election Commission of India? Election Commission of India administrates elections for the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies, presidential election, vice president election. And there are other functions of Election Commission of India that you can read from the Polity Lakshmikant. Election Commission of India consists of Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners. Okay. Who appoints these two is President. And they have tenure of 65 years or 6 years. And they enjoy the same status of Supreme Court judges. But there is a difference when it comes to the removal process. When Chief Election Commissioner should be removed, he can be removed same as a Supreme Court judge. Other election commissioners can be removed on the recommendation of Chief Election Commissioner. These creates a This is one of the issues between the in the Election Commission of India. And another issue is what the Constitution of India has not specified any qualification for to be a Chief Election Commissioner of India. And another major issue with the Election Commission of India is what they are not debarred from the retaining from for further appointments by the government after their retirement. This is another major issue. So these issues you should definitely remember, because if not in prelims, definitely in mains UPSC may ask. So election commissioner can be removed from the office in the same manner on the same grounds as a judge of Supreme Court. It's wrong. He can be removed on the recommendation of Chief Election Commissioner. Okay, the Constitution has not only prescribed the qualification of, no, not only prescribed means already it has prescribed, it is wrong. So answer is D. And it has not, Constitution has not specified the terms of the members. So this is what you should remember when it comes to the Chief Election Commission of India. Now 68th question. Which of the following statements is or correct regarding National Council for Transgender Person? It is a statutory body under the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act. It is correct. The chairman will be Prime Minister of India. Is it Prime Minister? No, it is not. It is Union Ministry of Social and Justice and Empowerment. So what this Transgender Persons Protection of Act deals with, what are the features? Because you should know, it may be asked directly in mains also or in prelims also. It seeks to establishment of National Council for Transgender Person. This is the question. Okay, next one is it gave a definition for the who are the transgender persons. That's fine. And it talks about the certificate of identity. Who will give? It is DM. It is a controversial provisions. When we discuss in detail about the Transgender Persons Protection of Act, then I will explain what is the controversy here. It actually goes against Puttaswamy case and versus Union of India. In this, Supreme Court has given case judgment that right to privacy is a fundamental right. So this provision goes against right to privacy. And next one is right of residence. It talks about prohibition against discrimination and punishment. These are the 6 provisions that you should remember. If UPSC asks in mains, you can write these 6 points, is more than enough. So answer for this is A. Come to the 61st question. Which of the following are correctly matched? Why I have asked this question? Because recently the Assam government has inaugurated 1.8 kilometers long river ropeway across Brahmaputra river. So because it is in news, it is the longest in India, right? Because it is the longest in India, you should know about other ropeways also. UPSC may ask. It may be high probability is there that UPSC may ask. So ropeways and locations. Longest river ropeway Assam, because I have just explained, it is the longest river ropeway. Okay, longest ropeway, it is Uttarakhand, correct? It is 4 kilometers. Oldest ropeway is West Bengal, Darjeeling. In Darjeeling it is there. It is 2 kilometers. These things you should know, and answer is D. So come to the 62nd question. Which of the following organization releases the report Export Preparedness Index?
Hello everyone.
Export Preparedness Index is released by Niti Aayog. Why it is in news? Because of COVID, the exports of India has contracted. So you should know it. That's why I have asked this question. Export Preparedness Index. And exports are very much in news. That's why it will become an important question for the UPSC prelims. Come to the 63rd question. Which of the following statements regarding electoral bonds is correct? These electoral bonds is introduced to bring transparency in the electoral funding. Okay, according to the ADR report, before electoral bonds, 70 to 75% of electoral funding sources are unknown. Means what? The electoral funding is completely opaque. This means that if any company wants to get projects sanction or favors, they used to fund to that particular party and get permissions for their projects. This is how it used to go. To stop this, means this company used to donate the black money. To remove this black money and to bring transparency in the electoral funding, the electoral bonds was initiated by the government in 2017 onwards. So these electoral bonds are financial instruments for making donations to the political parties. Okay. And these bonds can be issued only by the SBI as of now. And who can buy these bonds? These bonds can buy by the citizens or corporates. And to whom, on whose name they can buy? On a political parties which are registered and got at least 1% of voting in Lok Sabha or in state legislative assembly elections. These bonds are issued by SEBI only in few months, that is in March, April, May. This is a special permission given in 2020. Generally, it can be issued only in January, March, July, and October. This is what you should know. But the question is, does electoral bonds brought in transparency? This is a big topic that we can discuss later, but I suggest you to search on Google. So let's see the options. Only state government is authorized, correct. Only parties who secured 1% of votes polled in the recent election, Lok Sabha and state election will be allocated a verified account, correct. Donor's name will not be mentioned on the bonds. This is also correct. So answer is D. This is the main issue with the electoral bonds now, because one of the main issue, because this will again brings in opaque system, not the transparency one. Come to the 64th question. Which of the following diseases are caused by the Aedes aegypti, dengue, chikungunya, Zika, yellow fever? What is the answer? It is D. This mosquito causes these 4 types of diseases. But why it is in news? It is in news because researchers from World Mosquito Program have used mosquito infected with Wolbachia bacteria to control dengue. Means what? This bacteria was inserted in Aedes aegypti mosquito so that these, if it bites a human, okay, this bacteria will take care that this virus which are injected in humans will not be replicated, so that the disease will not be amplified. So this is a way of controlling. They found that one of the way of controlling dengue. So answer is D here. The term BIOC was in news. It represents. It is in news which it represents, because this type of questions UPSC generally ask, like example in dark. Like this is known as, this type of questions are known as word type. Okay, like Texas Intermediate, like that many times UPSC asked. This is asked in 2020 itself, so you should know about it. And I guess UPSC even asked about ISIL. It has once asked, I guess, I remember, it has asked about ISIL. What is this ISIL? Islamic State in Iraq and Levant. So here the answer is what? It represents for the biopic of Columbus. It's wrong. It represents black, indigenous and people of color. Black, indigenous, people of color. So answer is B. So today we have completed August month current affairs questions, and we have discussed 65 topics, most important and important topics of August current affairs. And till now we have discussed how many? 180 plus 65, so 245 questions we have discussed from May to August. So tomorrow onwards we are going to start September. And that's it for today. Thank you.